name is Dr. Wyman Chan. I'm a dedicated tooth whitening dentist working in central London. I'm not a routine dentist anymore. I do not practice routine dentistry for 15 years. It's the time when I hang up my drills. That was a very difficult decision. I think in life, not just in dentistry, I think generally in life I learned. I'm a lot older now, and 15 years older then I took the decision. I think making the decision was difficult, but when it's made, it's so simple. I think we just have to believe what you want to do. I think you got to believe in your passion, and that's very important. I think once you believe that you can do it, I believe we can do it. I think it's really have to believe, and not only believe in what you can do, you also at the same time have to work hard. I remember 15 years ago, everybody thought I was crazy. I was making such a good income. I don't want to say how much I was grossing, but it's an amazing amount of money in those years. And people thought I was mad to give up those income and start over again and just jump over the cliff and did not know what was down there. Very risky in those days. But I do not want to think back. I don't know whether I would do exactly the same thing, but I probably would, knowing my character. It was 15 years ago that I decided to give up routine dentistry. At that time, I was a very successful private dentist because of my passion for teeth whitening, and also there's a lot of problems to encounter in those days. So I found that I need to spend more time in research, so that I went into research about 20 years ago on teeth whitening, and I found it more and more interesting, getting more and more passionate about the whole subject. So in 2002, I thought that was the right time to give up dentistry and focus on teeth whitening only. When I was introduced to teeth whitening, I thought it was it's a different form of dentistry. This is not a routine thing, not a repair work we used to do. This is purely aesthetic. That means within an hour, we make somebody's teeth whiter, you can see the smile and the confidence from that person that probably drove me to actually do more teeth whitening and get more into the subject. I invented many things in teeth whitening, techniques, whitening gel, and devices as well. So I thought that this is good to share my knowledge and my passion with my colleagues. So I started training in 2003, which is about 14 years ago. So we used to train once or twice a month in my clinic here. We used to train about 15 to 20 dentists and their team in here. It was really busy in the early days. So I really enjoyed the teaching as well. I always enjoyed teaching and sharing my knowledge. I teach in China and elsewhere, in the US, I went to South Africa, India, Hong Kong, Taiwan, many places, but now mostly I'm focused in teaching in China, because to them teeth whitening is brand new and it's a fascinating subject for them as well. So especially they have a lot of problems with fluorosis and tetracycline stained teeth, because people from the Far East, they like to take medication. They got a headache, they took medications. They got a sore throat, they took medication. And the medication to talk was tetracycline at that time. So a lot of people got big problems with tetracycline stained teeth. So I wasn't experienced in that field. So that gave me another I would say, incentive to research more into how to make these kind of teeth white and get them really white and without a rebound. So I'm pleased that after 10 years of working in China and teaching, we have overcome that problem. We can make tetracycline stained teeth to any color you want. The drive is so much unknown. Teeth whitening, I'm still learning every day with my knowledge, with my PhD behind me. I still encounter new stuff every time I see a patient. So just like research, that's why I love working in my clinic, just like researching in the lab. And anything I encounter that we encounter any difficulties, for example, we cannot whiten someone's teeth or not as according to plan, then we sit down and analyze why this set of teeth did not go according to plan. And then we start analyzing it and find a solution. And I think I've been born quite lucky, always found a solution. Teeth whitening in the past, there are so many manufacturers doing it, especially called in-office bleaching, which you do it in the office and everything will be done an hour to between 1 to 2 hours. And it's an amazing concept that you can make somebody's teeth white in one session. But unfortunately, that wasn't true even till now. We can make someone's teeth white in one session, but usually they do not last long. That's why we always have to top it up or have to stabilize the result with home bleaching. And that's what drove me, is that I thought power bleaching or in-office bleaching was an amazing concept. Just like many years ago, we wanted to go to the moon. Well, we couldn't, but we went to the moon eventually. Yeah. But I think maybe that will happen, power bleaching, but I cannot see in the near future yet. It's difficult to get teeth white in one session without stabilizing with home bleaching. I think that is really challenging. That's what drove me. So I think teeth whitening has to be safe. I think the safety issue in the EU has been sorted out because we can only use up to 6%. But over the world, dentists are using 40% hydrogen peroxide for in-office bleaching. To me, that is really high risk. The concentration is very high. And I think that was the challenge to make low concentration, for example, a 6% work as well as a 40% in office bleaching. So that would be the challenge. The problem with teeth whitening, let's talk about home whitening, home bleaching. The problem with that is the sensitivity. Lots of research show that between 50 to 80% of the patients, even not only patients, but clinical studies, peer-reviewed studies show that they suffer from sensitivity. Start from why the teeth are sensitive in the first place. Why after whitening, even with home whitening, they are sensitive. And I realized that culprits are the bleaching trays. That's why I went into and invented on bleaching trays. There's the only set of bleaching trays in the whole world that will not hurt your patients. And I have 2 patents on that set of bleaching trays, so I'm very proud of. So yes, if you do it properly with the correct bleaching trays, then it's just totally painless for home whitening. So there's a lot of education there as well. I think education not only to the patients but to the dental professionals. Got to tell them why teeth are sensitive in the first place, why teeth whitening can cause sensitivity. If we go back from the beginning and find the root of the causes, if we can do prevention, that's what I do in my clinic here. We actually prevent sensitivity before it happens. When it happens, it's too late. So here we focus on prevention. Lots of we call them the illegals, don't call them beautician, whoever, they may not be a beautician, they can be a bricklayers in the daytime, in the nighttime they get carry a bag. Because teeth whitening is so simple to many other people, they thought it's so simple. Especially a lot of them are using something really mild. As long as they do not use the high strength hydrogen peroxide, they do not damage the soft tissues, so the patient don't get chemical burned. The unfortunate thing is that teeth do go white. They do go white in that one session. And the reason is that because the teeth are dried out. This is dehydration. They're changing the refractive index of the enamel. So the enamel become white when you lose moisture from the enamel pores. Unfortunately, because of dehydration, the teeth do go white. And that's why all these illegals still can survive, because they actually could make teeth white in one session. I mean, if you remember in the Truth About Your Teeth program, I actually advise the presenter to use a hairdryer to blow dry the teeth. The teeth go white, really white as well. Just take out the moisture from the enamel pores, the teeth turn very white. So that is the phenomenon of dehydration. So unfortunately, the illegals are using that phenomenon just to conning the public. After 20 years of practicing teeth whitening, and the last 15 years just dedicated to teeth whitening, I think there's a lot of challenges, especially in some cases. It's so difficult to whiten the teeth. Like some literature did say that. There are literature out there say some teeth whiten faster than others, but they never explain why. So that was challenging because we're doing exactly the same technique on different patients. One patient's teeth whiten so fast, another person's teeth that took a long time, maybe 5, 6 times, sometimes even 10 times longer. So I thought that was very interesting. So it's not the product, it's not the trace, my invention, not the trace. It could be the teeth. So I started researching into the textures of the teeth. And that's when I have a breakthrough. That I started looking into different kind of teeth, and that's why I'm in my PhD thesis. So I discovered some phenomena and the texture of the teeth that actually can predict the results. And that also can predict whether the teeth are going to be sensitive or not. So that still remains my secrets. I think as a dental student, it's difficult to know which field of dentistry they would like to focus, because I remember when I was first qualified 35 years ago, there wasn't much going on. Nowadays we have the orthodontic work is so advanced, and we have implants, and we have so many things going on, and to focus on one subject or decide which one to go for is difficult. I think that's just work, get qualified, work as a dentist in general dentistry, and have a feel, see which subject that you like or you have a passion for. And I would say if you can specialize, would be good. This will be a good master of something, rather than a jack of all trades.
True.